Hey, we're back in front of the collection, everybody! Before we get going here, I want to thank everybody for watching my 31 1970s Horrors for Halloween series that I posted this month. I'm glad everybody seemed to enjoy it. It was a lot of work, counting down my favorite 70s horror movies. I will be doing something like that again next year. Just again, thank you all for watching and commenting, and I'm glad you liked the series. We will be getting back to my more polished, regular reviews in the next video. But a lot of people have been asking me my thoughts on Halloween Kills. And I finally had a chance to watch it. It took me a while. I've been very busy lately, and people have been talking to me about Halloween Kills, and I have not been hearing the most positive things about it, so I was putting it off. But people seem to want to know my thoughts about the movie, and I know I'm the last person to talk about this movie, so you've already seen other reviewers talk about it, and you've more than likely already seen the movie. But I will be doing a review right now for it. This is going to be more of a ramble-y review, sort of more along the lines of a horror talk, but I decided to film it in front of the collection because I'm assuming you're all kind of sick and tired of the couch over there. When going into Halloween Kills, I did not have the highest expectations. I was trying to avoid as many reviews as I could for this movie, because I like to try to go in without any preconceived notions. I always try to keep my expectations in check, regardless of what any movie I see. Whether it's something I'm looking forward to, or whether something I don't really care about, I always try to keep my expectations in check. But I've had a lot of people tell me that Halloween Kills is not very good. There have been some people who like it, and there have been a lot of people who don't seem to like it. That's one of the reasons why it took me so long to see this movie. So, after watching Halloween Kills, I'm gonna say it's not as bad as everyone says it is, but it's still not good. This is a movie, Halloween Kills is a movie that I think is more frustrating than it is bad. It's not a good movie, but I do find it more frustrating than bad, because it's one of those movies where I see the potential. The entire time watching this movie, I can see the potential here. It's like, I can see the good movie here. There's just so much working against it, and it's a mess. Halloween Kills is a bit of a mess. And it's not a fun mess. It's kind of a fun mess in certain places, with certain elements, but for the most part, I was annoyed and, like I said, frustrated. Because there's good ideas here, it's just not executed well. I am gonna have mild spoilers in this video because, again, I'm the last person who's seen this movie, and I'm sure most of you have already seen it, but just in case some people haven't seen it and they still want to check it out, I'm gonna have mild spoilers, but I'm not gonna give away anything that happens at the end. The best thing about Halloween Kills is Michael Myers. Michael Myers is the best thing about this movie, I mean, his kills are great. They're not too flashy, not like incredibly creative, but they are very well done. They are good, savage kills. And Michael Myers is what I want him to be. Just that unstoppable force that goes around killing people randomly, like he was in the first movie and he was in Halloween 2018. That's about all I liked in this movie. Michael Myers. Anything that Michael Myers was doing, that was all I really liked about this movie. Because, we horror fans, we love our horror characters. We love Michael Myers. Nightmare on Elm Street fans love Freddy Krueger. Friday the 13th fans love Jason. Chucky fans love Chucky, and so on and so forth. But as much as we love those killers, the story you tell around them has to work. If you don't have good things around the killer, we're not gonna care. It doesn't matter how great the kills are if everything around the kills and the killer don't work. And that's the thing, like, the only person I cared about in this movie was Michael Myers. I only cared about Michael. And yes, as much as we Halloween fans love Michael, if we don't care about the characters around him, then the movie is going to feel like a slog. And there were parts where this movie was a slog to go through. The weird thing is, okay, you had Halloween 2018 in 2018, and this new trilogy which ignores all the sequels and only focuses on the first one, which has happened quite a few times in this series. The thing is, when Halloween 2018 was first announced, before they mentioned any sequels or anything like that, you know, before they even started filming, you know, they were saying, oh, this is going to be the last Halloween movie, and I said, no, it's not. I knew it wasn't going to be the last one. They're never going to let this series die. We're eventually going to get another Friday the 13th movie. We're eventually going to get another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. We're getting another Scream movie. We have a Chucky TV series. They are never going to let any of these series die. So, I was not surprised when they announced that they were going to make this a new trilogy. And I mean, I was cautiously optimistic. I'm like, let's see, because I liked Halloween 2018. Let's see how these other two go. Because the way Halloween 2018 ended, I thought, there's nowhere for them to go here. Where are they going to go after this? And it pretty much, Halloween Kills pretty much proves they don't really have anywhere to go. And of course they announced that they're thinking about doing more Halloween movies after this trilogy, to which I said, of course, because again, they're never gonna let this series die. The one thing I will say, that this I actually really liked, because spoiler for Halloween 2018, the way Halloween 2018 ended is Michael is locked in a basement and the house is on fire. And everyone was speculating, how's Michael gonna get out of the basement? How's Michael gonna get... There's a window in the background, maybe he got through there, maybe he'll break through the walls. What's gonna happen? The way this movie opens is the fire department shows up. The fire department shows up to put out the fire. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, that does kind of make the most sense. And nobody was predicting that, and I kind of love that. And then the movie went downhill from there. I heard a lot of people talking about the flashback in this movie. They were mentioning how there was a flashback to the original Halloween. And people are saying, you're going to love that, because I am a fan of the original Halloween. I will say it looks really good. It looks like it's taking place back when the original Halloween took place, but that's all I liked about it, because everything else in this felt unnecessary. It's like, I don't need to see how the police caught Michael. I don't need to see any of this. And there was situations where people were making dumb decisions, and there's a lot of that in this movie. There's a lot of moments where characters are making dumb decisions, and it's one of those situations where that's the only thing moving the plot forward, which, you know, I find incredibly frustrating. I've said it before. I understand that people are going to make some bad decisions in stressful situations, but when the only thing moving the plot forward is people being stupid, that just drives me nuts. Anyway, we have Michael, he's going around killing again, and the killings are great, but then we have the first big problem in this movie, the dialogue. People complained about the humor in 2018, Halloween 2018, and I didn't have much of an issue with the humor because it was doing something that I missed in modern horror movies, creating quirky characters, and I missed that. Here, it's not so much the humor, it's again the dialogue. Some of the dialogue in this movie is so insufferable. I mean, you've seen it in the trailer, you know, people are saying, evil dies tonight, and then you hear it's like, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. The phrase evil dies tonight is used so much in this movie that it has lost all meaning. Because it's funny, okay, because in Halloween 2018, you had this character who everybody said was the new Dr. Loomis. And I never thought that was the case. I thought Laurie Strode was taking on the role of the new Dr. Loomis. In this movie, the way everyone speaks, pretty much everyone in this town has become the new Dr. Loomis. But not Dr. Loomis from the first Halloween. They've become crazy Dr. Loomis from the rest of the series. Everybody in this movie is talking like Dr. Loomis in the Halloween sequels after he's completely lost it. That's what all of them sound like. And it's really fucking distracting. Like, the first time I heard Evil Dies Tonight, I rolled my eyes. And, okay, let me bring this thing up first before we continue with the dialogue. There's a scene at the bar where they pretty much introduce characters from the original series. You have Tommy Doyle. Okay, he's not really necessary to the story, but okay, he's back. You have Lindsay Wallace. Okay, he's not really necessary to the story, but here he is. You have Lonnie. Okay, he's not necessary at all. You have the nurse. You remember the nurse that Michael attacked at the beginning of the original Halloween, Nurse What's-Her-Name. Okay, she's not necessary to this story at all. The only way she would be necessary to the story is if Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 sequel, was relevant to this story. But it's not. And it just bugged me how they introduced characters from the original movie. I mean, it's literally, when they're in the bar, the way they introduce the new characters, you have Tommy Doyle on stage because they get together every Halloween for reasons. And he literally, he literally introduces all these characters from the original movie. It's literally like, hey everybody, it's Lindsay Wallace. Hey everybody, it's Lonnie. Hey everybody, it's that fucking nurse that really doesn't need to be here. So you're putting so much focus on the first Halloween instead of letting Halloween Kills be its own movie. Halloween 2018, it did have throwbacks and Easter eggs from the other series, but it didn't feel as much of a punch in the face as in this movie. And then, going back to the dialogue. When everybody hears Michael Myers is back, everybody's marching out of the bar and the nurse says, "Evil dies tonight," and I think that's the first time they say that line. Of course, it's going to be a lot more, and it felt off. It felt off. And then there's another scene, and this is the moment I knew that the dialogue wasn't going to get any better. It was probably going to get worse. There's a scene with the nurse and two random people who are there just to get killed. They're in a car, and it's fucking stupid. This is what I'm talking about when I say dumb decisions are the only thing moving the plot forward. Michael is on the roof of this car. The nurse is shooting at all the windows. She knows where Michael is. Michael is on the roof. She's not shooting the roof. She's shooting all the windows, where Michael is not. Michael is not anywhere near the windows. He's on the roof of the car. They know this. And then Michael jumps off the roof. The nurse points the gun at Michael and says, "This is for Dr. Loomis." And the way she said it was off too, and that was the point where I was saying, oh no, because the dialogue goes down. That's how bad the dialogue is, and it just gets worse from there. And of course, because she wasted all her bullets shooting at windows instead of Michael, of course she's out of bullets when she finally... Anyway, that's the kind of shit we have to deal with. Just terrible dialogue and terrible execution of a good idea. The idea is, this could work, okay? The town of Haddonfield is banding together to kill Michael. But the story meanders so much. In Halloween 4, they touched on this idea of a lynch mob going after Michael, of members of Haddonfield banding together and going after Michael. And it wasn't a focus in Halloween 4, but they did it better in Halloween 4, and they were able to get through these plot points much quicker. Because in Halloween Kills, there's a scene where someone who is not Michael gets killed by the mob, and it's a major plot point of the story. It's a major plot point of the story that doesn't need to be there. In Halloween Kills, they took care of that very quickly. You know, they accidentally shoot a guy and then they say, oh shit, it's Ted Hollister. And he's like, you bastard, you said you saw Myers. Boom. They handled that quickly and efficiently in Halloween 4. In Halloween Kills, they drag this out. And it's like, okay, so they basically, the plot point is 2 people escaped from the mental asylum. Michael and some other random schmuck. So we're spending all this time building up the fact that these people are going to create this mob and create this mob mentality and go after Michael, even though that was already established earlier. You know, Tommy Doyle was already saying we're going to collect people and we're going to go after Myers. But for some reason, he goes to the hospital and he has to get people riled up there. It's this whole hospital sequence that doesn't need to be there. It's like, okay, you've already established these people are going to band together and go after Myers. Just do that. Have them go after Myers. But they have this whole sequence in the hospital where people are getting riled up and then everybody, and they're all saying, evil dies tonight. And they're saying this crazy Dr. Loomis dialogue that doesn't fit. This shows how lazy the writing is. The mental patient, the other escaped mental patient, just shows up at the hospital. It's like, okay, how does the mob go after this guy who is not Myers? Oh, well, he just shows up to the hospital. That's kind of easy. I mean, yes, this is a guy who escaped from the mental institution, so clearly that's where he's gonna go? Okay, you can make the argument that he's nuts and he's not thinking, but anyway, no, it's lazy writing. And all these people are saying, oh, it must be Myers, so they start going after this guy. You have more cheesy, crazy Dr. Loomis dialogue coming from all these random people. You have this... Laurie Strode has a bunch of those crazy Dr. Loomis lines, and they're terrible. And so she's talking, and everyone's freaking out. Everybody, the police are trying to get everyone under control, and they're all going after this guy. And at that point, you're just so annoyed, because we're just like, where's Michael? Okay, Michael Myers in the original Halloween, you didn't see him that much, but you felt his presence throughout the film. In Halloween Kills, you don't feel that. Because people are trying to hammer in so hard that, oh, he's pure evil, he's, you know, pure menace, he's pure evil, that it's trying too hard and you don't feel that presence. Because in the original Halloween, we only had one person saying he was pure evil, Dr. Loomis, and that's all we need. In Halloween Kills, we have everybody saying he's pure evil, and everyone, like I said, saying this crazy Dr. Loomis dialogue, that at that point I'm just so annoyed. I was so annoyed with this point that when they're going after the crazy guy, trying to kill him, because they think he's Myers for some stupid reason, there's no reason with it anyway, you know, they're going after him, and it's supposed to be this big moment, the guy ends up jumping out of a window and killing himself. And it's supposed to be this, oh, what have we become moment. Like, oh my god, we've become the monsters. They even say that. They spell it out for you. It's just like, he's turned us into monsters. You're talking about Michael. So, you know, they say, Michael has turned us into monsters. Like, yeah, we get it. You didn't have to spell it out for us. The way you filmed everything, we could have figured that out for ourselves. But no, this movie has to tell you that because clearly it doesn't think you're smart enough to figure it out for yourself. But again, it's supposed to be this big what have we become moment, and you feel nothing. I felt nothing because I'm so annoyed with the bad dialogue, and we've been dealing with this shit for so long, we just want to get back to Michael, that by the time this moment happens that's supposed to be a big moment in the film, you feel nothing. Because you just want to move on. So, yes, you don't care about any of the characters. In Halloween 2018, I cared about Laurie. I cared about her daughter, and I cared about her granddaughter. In this movie, literally, the only person I care about is Michael. That's a problem. I mean, we're in a Halloween movie with Laurie Strode, and I don't care about Laurie. And I'm not going to give away what happens at the end of this movie. I will say two things. One, the thing that happens at the end of this movie should have happened a lot sooner. And two, the movie just ends. The way this happens is, you have this big moment, which I liked. I mean, like, there are moments in the ending that I liked, and I'm like, boy, I wish we got to this sooner. If it weren't for how much this movie meanders, and if it weren't for the horrible dialogue, if they just fixed this script up a little bit, this would have been a fantastic Halloween sequel. But we're at these moments in the ending, and I'm enjoying them, but I'm thinking I would be enjoying them a lot more if this movie was better. And then the big moment at the end happens, and then it just stops. Literally, the movie, and I remember sitting there in the theater, and then we cut to credits. I was the only one in the theater at the time, so I yelled out loud, boy, that just ended. Because it did. It just, like, cut. And it's over. This movie was, like I said, frustrating. You watch Halloween Kills, you can see a good movie here. You can see where there could be a good movie if they just fix the dialogue, if they tighten the script a little more. All the problems in this movie are in the script. Everything with Michael is great. Michael himself is great. The way he kills people is great. Everything around him is a mess. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on Halloween Kills. I do apologize if this was a very rambly review. Like I said, we will be getting back to my more polished reviews in the next video. But, yeah, Halloween Kills, it's only good if you watch it just to see Michael Myers kill people. I'm just gonna stop there just because, again, this movie frustrated me to no end. What did you all think of Halloween Kills? What's your favorite sequel in the Halloween franchise? So, thank you all for watching, and again, thank you all for watching my ranking of my 31 favorite 1970s horror movies. I will see you in the next video. I hope you all had a happy Halloween, and until next time, this is the Maniac, here to remind you that the Grindhouse will never die.